Hello and welcome back. Thanks for clicking on today's video. In this video, we are going to be continuing our discussion on planners. Now, if you have not seen the first video in this series, be sure to go and check that out. You'll need to follow the steps that we discussed in that video in order to follow along with what we are going to be talking about today. For those of you that have already seen my first video in this series, you'll know that the planner that we have on the screen here is the one that we created in that last video. We also talked about how this is a pretty basic version of a planner, one that is really good for people who are just starting out using one, or for people who have tried planners in the past and haven't been able to get into the swing of it. Before changing to what we are going to discuss in this video, please make sure that you've used the planner that is currently on the screen for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Make sure you used it every day for those 2 to 3 weeks. And as long as you feel comfortable and confident with using this current method, then be sure to continue watching as we take it to the next level. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 2 different styles. Both of them have the same amount of detail. They just visually look a little bit differently. So after you finish watching this video and see the 2 different styles, you can choose the one that best suits you. So let's get started. I'm going to click on this File button and click on Page Setup. And we are going to change the page setup to Landscape. The reason for doing this is, as you can see, it just gives us more room horizontally to write more information. Now that we've changed our planner to Landscape, we are going to add more columns. We want to start by adding a column to the left of the assignment name column. So we are going to right-click, hit Insert Column Left, and there we go, a new column appears right here. We are going to title this column Date. Now we're going to add another column, and we want to add it to the right of date. So now again, we're going to right-click, Insert Column Right, and we have another column here. The title of this column is going to be Class. And finally, we're going to add a column all the way over here, right-click, Insert Column Right, and this one is going to be titled Plan to Complete Assignment. It's important to have the date written in your planner because it's going to help you plan out your time a lot better. Including the class name is helpful. It just adds more detail to your planner. And then the plan to complete the assignment. This is really going to help with your time management. Now that we have our new headings, I'm just going to go in and adjust the width of each column. So for the date, we probably won't need that much from class. Similarly, we probably can move it down to about here. The assignment name and the plan to complete the assignment, that's where the bulk of the text is going to go. So we can maybe move this down a little bit here as well. You can obviously go in and adjust this whenever you want, but there, we just want to set it up as best we can from the start. So for the purpose of this video, we are going to pretend that it is Monday, the 21st of September. So we can go in and write that for all 3 of these assignments. Now we want to go in and write the class for each of these assignments. So as we discussed in the previous video, we can assume that this is for English class. Here we know this one will be for math. And then a lab report will be for some science, let's say it's biology. Now as we can see, we have a lot of room left in this class column. So we can go over and adjust it a little bit. Again, this just leaves some more space for the name of the assignment. We can even move it over a little bit more because I'm guessing we're going to have a bit more text in this far right column over here. Now the plan to complete the assignment is, in my eyes, probably the most important part of the planner. Getting used to writing down what the assignments are and the due dates of the assignments is absolutely challenging, especially when you're first starting out. But planners are supposed to do just that. They're supposed to help you plan. So knowing that you have homework due this Friday is great, but if you don't have a plan to get that homework done, then this planner isn't really doing its job. When you go in to create the plan for completion, knowing the date that you are making the plan and the due date are super important. The reason I say this is because you need to know how many days you have to split up this assignment. For example, if you know that chapter 1 is 30 pages, you have 4 nights to complete those 30 pages. Now, some people might want to do this all in one go and get it all done on Monday night, which is fine. But more likely than not, as we can see from this planner alone, which only has 3 classes worth of homework, you're going to have other assignments that you need to complete in addition to reading chapter 1. So what I would recommend is chunking it up and breaking it up over the course of a few days. For example, let's say you are going to read 10 pages tonight. Now we know when I say tonight, it means Monday the 21st of September. We're also going to read 10 pages tomorrow night or Tuesday. And then we are going to finish reading the chapter, read 10 pages, finish chapter on Wednesday. Breaking it up like this makes it more manageable. You now have a plan in place, and the potential of cramming this all in the night before is taken away because you've implemented those long-term planning strategies. Moving on to the next assignment, we have a math worksheet. This one is a little bit different. Oftentimes, math worksheets or worksheets in general can be done in a short period of time. As we can see from our example above, I recommend breaking up longer assignments, such as this here. Reading 30 pages could take someone anywhere from maybe 30 to 60 minutes, depending on your speed of reading. Depending on the math worksheet and what it is you're doing, it might only take you anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. So in this case, I'm going to recommend that we just complete it the night that it is given. So we will say complete tonight. Now on to our last example here, the biology lab report. We can see that this is due next week, meaning we'll have the weekend to work on this a little bit as well. Lab reports are often pretty detailed and pretty thorough and can take quite a bit of time to complete. Each lab report is different, but it is often made up of multiple components. So when we're breaking this up, I would recommend completing certain sections each night. Let me show you what I mean. Complete hypothesis, materials, and method. The reason why I decided to complete this on Tuesday is because if we already look at what we have completed up here, we have 10 pages to read on Monday, math worksheet to complete on Monday. It looks like you're going to start to have a busy night. Where this lab report isn't due until next week, we can give ourselves a break on Monday and start this on Tuesday. Now, I would not recommend waiting to start this over the weekend because at that point, you'll just have a lot less time and you might have to cram in your work. And potentially that means that you might not do your best work. Starting it on Tuesday still gives you a full week to get it done while allowing yourself a break on Monday as you complete other assignments. So back to the plan for the lab report. We'll complete these 3 sections on Tuesday, and then we can complete data, conclusion, and evaluation on Wednesday. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, lab reports are often larger assignments. They might count as a test grade or count as a summative. It's really good to get into the habit of having your teacher check your work and give you some feedback before turning it in. You might not be able to do this for all assignments, but where it looks like we've finished our first draft of the report almost a full week before it's due, it would be really helpful to email the teacher or meet with the teacher and ask if they can review what you've done so far and provide feedback. So we're going to write that in as well. Email draft to teacher on Thursday for feedback. If you do this, then the teacher might be able to get their feedback back to you before the weekend, which is where you can complete any final tweaks to the report and have it ready to turn in by Tuesday. So we'll write that as well. Make final edits over the weekend. And there you go. Now you can see exactly what you have to do each night of the week. You have a plan to complete all of your assignments, which really sets you up for success. As I mentioned in my previous video, you want to make sure that when you complete an assignment, you somehow mark it in your planner. Because we created our plans over here, what I recommend is crossing off each individual bullet point until the whole assignment is complete, and then you can go through and cross out the assignment name. So this is the first style that I wanted to show you. As I previously mentioned, you can go in and change the font and the colors to suit your style. Just be sure to include these 5 headings as it will really help you successfully achieve your goals. I do just want to show you another style in case the second style suits you a little bit better. So we are going to go in and delete this column. So we right click and delete column. Again, we can stretch this out to fit the page more appropriately. So now that we deleted the class column, I want to show you how else you can include it in your planner. So we are going to right-click in this row and click Insert Row above. We want to merge all of these columns. Right-click, merge cell. And now we are going to write English. We'll include the class up here. And I like to have my headings centered and bolded. And now what you can do underneath this row is add a few more blank rows for future English assignments. So instead of including all of your assignments one after another and mixing up the classes, this style allows you to keep all of your assignments for each class together. So we can do the same here. We'll merge these and type on math. Again, bring it to the center, bold. And then finally, we'll do it here for science as well. Again, merge these columns here. Cells, we'll write biology. There. And just like we did for English, we can add rows for each of the classes. If you choose this style, I recommend changing the background color. This just visually helps you to know where each of the different classes begin. I'm going to do the same thing here. There we go. And so with this style, similarly to the other style, each row would be a different date. So you could go in here and write Tuesday, the 22nd of September, and then write down whatever homework you have here in this row. And there you have it, 2 more styles of planner that you can use to help with your time management skills while in school. As I mentioned, this far right column over here is what I would consider the most important, as it's really going to help with your time management skills. This video is the second video in a series on various planners, so be sure to keep checking back to see what other styles I discuss in future videos. As with my beginner's version of a planner that I talked about in my previous video, if you choose either of the 2 options we discussed here, be sure that you use them consistently for 2 to 3 weeks, and that will just help you form a habit, and it will help not only with your organization skills, but your time management skills as well. I hope you learned something from this video. Please be sure to leave a comment down below if there is a topic that you would like me to make a video on, and if so, I will do my best to get to it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.